Welcome to Festool TV. My name is Frank, and today I would like to introduce you to the APS 900. The APS is the Festool company's worktop joiner system, through which I can join the corresponding kitchen countertops. Before I begin with this, we should establish how the kitchen countertops are joined to each other. If we're making a joint here on the right, in the right corner, that means one panel traverses it. The other counter is in the other direction, or whether it's better to assemble it here on this side. This depends, of course, on the building site, and should be clarified in advance. In this example, we're making a joint right here. We're cutting the kitchen counters together here, and I'll show you that now. So now we have now constructed it all. The kitchen countertop and the template are in the right position. It's important that we put our locator pins in the correct holes in order to keep the exact position of our template. One in the rear area and one in the front area. Now everything is assembled on the countertop 60 centimeters in length. But I also have the option of working with deeper countertops. To attach the template in an optimal way, on the one side I have a crosspiece which assembles the MFS 200 template and can secure all of it onto the kitchen countertop with my clamps to get a stable position. The router is also already prepared. This means I have here a 30mm cutting ring and a 14mm groove miller. It's imperative that I have these two components to achieve the optimal results. For this work, I can use the OF 2200 or the OF 1400. I make the first cut to the maximum cutting depth. To have a clean splinter-free edge, quickly pierce the front edge. Then I will exit from the material and make the first cut into 1/3 of the cutting depth of the entire material. Because the miller is rotated in a clockwise direction, I will automatically cut on the front edge. And this I am virtually pre-milling. Repeat this step a second time for the second cut. The second third also from right to left again, in such a way that I am pressing into the front edge. The last step is, so to say, the finishing pass, in which I then mill into the maximum depth. That means the entire width of the counter from left to right along the template, and thus lead through to the fine finishing pass to the rear edge. The first half is now cut. This means here we have the profile of the finishing pass milled with the router. And now we release the clamps, move the template to the back, and can work on the corresponding part for the next counter. For this, we have to reassemble the template somewhat. We have turned the kitchen countertop around, the crosspiece, because we have to, of course, keep the cutting direction in mind. The router must cut through the material here with its blade. That's why we have turned this counter around, the template as well, of course. And here we put our pins back in to ensure the exact position of the template. Here we insert our locator pins in the front edge and the lateral edge. Everything is now held in place with our clamps again, which are here in profile. Everything is now carried out as with the other countertop. Again, I am making 3 cuts. The first cut, a very slight one in order to prevent splintering in the future. We have also now made the second cut. Now we unclamp the cutting template.
Und können jetzt das Werkstück bzw. die Arbeitsplatte an die andere Arbeitsplatte hinschieben, zusammenschieben.
And can push the countertop to the other countertop and check that it is sitting correctly. Of course, the next thing is to assemble the counter joint, which comes in 2 different sizes. These are cut in from the other side twice on the number with the APS system. For cutting the countertop joint, I have put the template on the overturned side of the countertop. And now we're assembling 65mm countertop joints. I have the corresponding metal locator pins, which have now been put into the drill holes provided, ensuring that my template is in the correct position. I can, of course, also cut longer countertop joints. In order to now attach the template, it is tightened from underneath with the lever clamps. In order to reposition my workplate joint, I unscrew the screws and insert everything individually at the measurements I would like. After I've made this readjustment, I again take the router with my 30mm cutting ring, 14mm router, place it at the desired cutting depth for the kitchen countertop, and then cut into the template here. So we now have milled the first countertop. Here are the milled kitchen countertop joints. Now I have turned over the countertop. Again, the template is put into position, and I will adjust the template to the edge with these locator pins to find the right points. Everything is again secured with my clamps and with the router, and at the same position as with the other counter. So the two countertops are now joined to each other. I have assembled both countertop joints. If you don't want it to be misaligned when working on it later, that is, the countertops are aligned with each other. The domino dowels which go with it can also be provided. Thus, the counters are assembled together in an optimal way, as well as the corresponding joint for operation. I hope you had fun watching me work with the APS 900. I look forward to next time at Festool TV. Until then, Frank.